Hi Aries, I'm Anisha. To know more about my work, you may visit my website www.TarotbyAnisha.com. For those of you who are seeking deeper clarity, be it in your love lives or your career, for a personal consultation, you may write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. Aries, welcome to your 2019-2020 annual forecast. It's a year of lot of big changes, 2019, and the main energy this year is going to be the earth energy because a lot of planets are placed in the earth sign. So the most of the I think the core of 2019 is going to be grounding, because everything that has to do with an earth sign is being centered. It's being focused. It's being close to Mother Earth. It's having your roots firmly entrenched. It's about going back to your roots. It's about going back to yourself, to staying authentic. Earth signs also rule money. So there could be a lot of focus on maybe newer ways of generating money for yourself, for working hard. And also this will have to do with, I think for a lot of you, it's, I won't say it's not an emotional time, but I think 2019 really has a tone more for work. That if you put an effort into something, it will yield results. While we may feel, it's quite a no-brainer that obviously if you work that there will be results. But because the tone or the planets are mostly into the earth sign, which is it's very tangible, the energy. It's a very practical energy. It's a very grounding energy. Getting carried away too much with emotions or living just amongst in your ideas and not implementing could be an issue. So this is something that you will have to watch out for in the entire 2019. Also, it's a time to be, I think it's a time to be rechecking your plans. It's a time to be seeing again the implementation, the practicality of the plans, the dreams that you may have for yourself. On January 6th, we have a solar eclipse, and that is there in Capricorn, and it's there in your house of work, reputation, career, and this will bring about a new opportunity for you, Aries. I think for a lot of you, the entire 2018 has been a space where a lot of you have thought about venturing out, doing things of your own, or maybe going back to an old pet project, maybe something that you were really passionate about. Some of you may have even changed your entire career stream. If you were doing, say for example, if you were in the corporate earlier, this is a time, or I would say in 2018 there must have been a lot of conversation, this need to maybe get back into dealing with art, maybe doing something really drastically different, something that you're really passionate about. And with the solar eclipse in Capricorn, again the energy is more about the work that you are being asked to do, how much of an effort, how much of a hard work, how much of I think processes that were followed that are now yielding results. Because Capricornian energy also, it has a lot of responsibility. It speaks about duty. It speaks about doing the right thing. And so January is really going to be an entire month of looking at your work. Maybe some of you could be formulating processes. And this house now, it's diagonally, it's absolutely in opposition to your house of home. That's a house of Cancer. So that is how these houses completely move in opposition. So you have the 10th house on the top and you have the 4th house at the bottom. That is your house of home, which is ruled by Cancer. So the Capricornian and the Cancer energy is going to be moving side by side along this entire time. And it's again to be time to be, some of you could be either retiring from work, some of you could be maybe figuring out something completely new. Some of you could be identifying the kind of people that you want to be with. It could be, associating and being more with my tribe. And I think because 2018 has been a time where there's been a lot of work speculation. What is it that you want to do? Maybe you want to start something new. Maybe you want to, and I think for a lot of you, you could be at a point at your career where you're quite done with the, if you've been chasing numbers, if you've been on the corporate side of this, you've been in a high pressure job, and this is the time you would really want to go back into something, make your passion into your work. So that is something that could have started for you. So get in touch really with things that make you happy, people that are around you that give you that kind of support. Now Uranus has moved back into your sign in November 18. It had rolled back briefly, and it'll again come out again. It moves out in March back to Taurus. But Uranus has moved back into your sign, so again you could be having that entire sifting through, what is it that I want in life, where is it that I go, which direction do I take my work. Now in March 2019, Uranus is moving out of your own house sense of self, and it's moving into your house of money. And it's there till 2025, and that's a long time, Aries. But what it's going to be doing is that, and the Uranian energy is very dynamic, it's unpredictable, and it can bring about windfalls, and it can even take as quickly as it gives. So I would say for the next 7 odd years, try and be careful about investments, high ticket items. Try and see if you're doing collaborations that there's not a lot of liquid cash that you're putting into it. Maybe there's more of a sweat equity that you can look at. Finances can be turbulent till 2025, because Uranus will bring about, it can bring about a sudden opportunities, and it can sort of, take away that opportunities. So not to sort of scare you and say there's not going to be any money, but be prepared to do multiple things. Be open to, maybe even in your current job, you'll find that you're handling multiple projects, and I think it's a good time to be getting in touch with your own natural talents and activating them. On July 2nd, we have a solar eclipse again. I'm just going to be looking at the eclipses first. And this is there in your house of home. So around the July time, you'll find that you are, you're discovering something. Maybe there is a great deal, a nice new apartment that's going up for sale, which you didn't know earlier about, and you may go ahead and you buy it, or maybe an inheritance comes to you, or some of you may just think about moving back to your roots. You may just sort of move back to another city where your parents live, or you'll move countries, or you'll, or maybe there could be some changes. Maybe you'll buy a new house where you are, maybe you'll shift somewhere else. On July 16th, we have again a lunar eclipse, and this is there in your house of work. So something is coming to a closure around July. Maybe a project is coming to an end. Maybe you're finishing signing documents during this time. And so the big news really this, and I would say the first quarter really is about money. It's about, the eclipses are talking about your career direction, and also I think where it is that you really want to live. Until end of the year, we have Jupiter, and Jupiter is there in your house of long distance travel, dealing with people with different countries, and this is really Jupiter rules this house, and he loves being there. So it will be an excellent year. 2019 is a brilliant year for you to travel, Aries. And the third, Jupiter will move to the house of career, and that will be, I think it will be wonderful. There will be great expansion and growth as far as your work is concerned. Maybe a lot of you will be traveling to different places, but I really see work looking quite good for you, Aries, in 2019. We have Mercury retrogrades, as they normally are there, but this year in 2019, they are there in your water sign. Now, what this basically means is, and anything to do with water, it speaks about your higher intuition, it speaks about listening to your gut, it speaks about trusting yourself. So rather than just mindlessly reacting and having your trigger points or trigger buttons pressed, take time to think. Try not to sort of, because the retrogrades will sort of make you regret things that you have been said in haste. I mean, that's what the retrograde is about. And Mercury, because it rules communication and travel and anything written that has to do with it. So you'll have to be really careful about how it is that you're communicating, and you try not to be very rash and be very emotional and then sort of later, sit back and feel bad about it. Where the entire, where relationships are concerned in 2019, Aries, you really need to be listening to your higher self. There is a lot of emphasis on taking time before committing, taking time to really figuring yourself out as to what is it that you really want before you just sort of, be this bull in a china shop and you just go and create chaos and then later on say that, oops, I don't think so, this is what I wanted. So the entire theme also for you 2019 is where relationships and love are concerned, is that you really need to be thinking through things as to what is it that you want before you really take an action or react to it. And if I would say, if you have been sort of on a rush or on a run and have not had enough time for your relationships, in 2019 is also a time to be sort of stepping back, pausing, and investing that time in your relationship. It's very, very important. I think a lot of us take it for granted. We feel that, oh, stable relationship, it's not going to be running anywhere, but you need to be really careful and not take your relationship for granted. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Aries. I wish you a fantastic 2019, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching.